Happy Easter! Get it? Hoppy? Bunny? Oh, yeah, I'm not supposed to be telling these bad jokes this time of year. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures and piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. So it was a great week because Monday, I got to have my me day for the quarter. Our SVP, she likes to give us a me day once a quarter. We haven't have a chance to take our me day in our group for probably at least the last 3 quarters, maybe the last year, because projects. And it's all crazy, but it's all good because, we still get a little bit of flexibility when we need to. For my me day, I had hoped to be spending it in here, but instead I was working on my server. Yeah. There's this company called Broadcom who bought VMware and is now basically, screwing those of us who have home labs out. And yeah, basically the machine that I have, it was running VMware, and VMware licenses are basically no more for, hobbyists. And I needed to swap everything over before it stopped working. I don't know when it's going to stop, but whatever. I got my machine fully backed up on Monday, just so I can have it all done. And I went to start to install the new operating system, and it went kaput. I blame the graphics card because that was a problem. Nvidia hasn't had the nicest, I'll just say, experiences with Linux. And yeah, there's a buggy version of the driver in it, so I couldn't find the graphics card that I was looking for because I had bought one a couple years ago when I had first experiences with it. And I just said, I can't find it. I'll buy a new one. And a friend of mine wants to build a server so he can have the one that is hiding somewhere in the house. Anyway, Wednesday I got the new operating system installed, so my server is now back up and running. I've been getting all of my virtual machines rebuilt in the new format because you can't just migrate from one to the other. And yeah, I'm almost done. I've got a couple things that still need to be worked out. They're things that needed to be worked out before this whole fiasco. So it's not like it's new stuff. It's just they're lower priority now. But the important thing is I can watch Mrs. Brown's Boys again. So that's all the perfect information. Also, Friday, I did a thing. I also get that it's not a big deal, but the moment that I hit submit on the webpage, anxiety fully hit me. Uh, the East Cobb Quilt Guild is putting on their, let's see, biennial? Every other year quilt show. And it's happening in the beginning of June. And they need quilts to put out into the show. So I went to their website because I think I said last week or the week before that I'm being pressured into entering. And I entered a quilt. It was a little bit of an adventure because there was a couple differences in communication within the website. So I had difficulty at first getting it submitted, but I finally got it submitted. And May 3rd, I think, is when they tell us if our quilt has been selected. I've heard rumors that they are light on quilts this year, so I'm probably going to get selected. But it's just exciting to be able to say, hey, my quilt is in a show, and I can tell people, hey, go look at my quilt in this show. It's so exciting. The anxiety part is because it is a ribbon show. I'm not expecting anything out of it. I did not make this quilt with the intent of it to be put into a show. That's not the reason why I make quilts. But I love the quilt and I just wanted to be able to share it with more people. So I don't know if I'm going to take a look at the judge's report card that they give because I don't know if I'm ready for that. If I am, if I do decide that I want to look at the report card, I will share it with everybody because y'all have seen the quilt before. Y'all are going to see the quilt again in Scenes from the Week because I had to take pictures this week. So it is an exciting quilt. The quilt is called New England Summer Lovin'. I love the quilt. I love the fabric. I love the pattern. Everything about it came out perfect. I had to figure out how to put a hanging sleeve on the quilt because, yeah, I didn't make my quilt with the intention of actually showing it in a show. So I gotta basically slip stitch a hanging sleeve on the back, and then when it's done out of the show, I can rip the slip stitch out and have it as a regular quilt like it's intended to be. What is happening in here? Well, yesterday I had my 11Zs where I was working on my Saturday Sampler block. Saturday Sampler is a program that is hosted by my local quilt shop for local people. I tried to find a pattern of the block to share with everybody, and I only had like 30 seconds of searching and I couldn't find it. But the good news is I did find the block online on a free site. So I put that block in the description of my live yesterday if you want to go back and look at it. I'm actually going to put it in today's video as well for anybody who wants to do a Saturday sampler of their own with their own fabric and not have any of the other rules and stuff behind it. Again, I have no idea what it's going to look like. I have no idea what their fabric requirements would be. So, yeah, you just got to make it up on your own. um, while I was doing my block, I had a little bit of a gaffe and I had a great laugh about it. Uh, I ended up cutting some of the pieces a 1/4 inch too big. So when I made the flying geese, the point here is basically a 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. It's a really tiny thing, so I would lose my point if I trimmed this thing down. So they gave us enough fabric that I was able to basically recut and remake the pieces. And this is the finished block. I should have made a little bit more thought about my pressing directions because I've got a little bit of bulk in these corners right here. But the Acorn Easy Press pen, that made it flatten out a little bit. And I'm just going to set it underneath a clapper for a couple days. And it'll be perfectly flat and everything. So I'm all excited that block one is done. And I don't have to go back for like 3 weeks because I do the Saturday sampler is the first and third Saturday, and I normally do third Saturday. So yeah, and I won't go to first Saturday because it's way too busy. Let's see, what else do I have going on? Last night, my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches invited me on her channel to learn how to make a rope bowl. I had been wanting to learn for quite some time when she was trying to figure out a project to maybe do at the Georgia retreat. That was one of the things that I had suggested. And when we were at QuiltCon, we saw some gorgeous dyed rope, but it was a little expensive. So it gave her the idea of, oh, she wants to practice dyeing. That now just sounds kind of funny every time I've heard it. And like I wanted to learn something, so we're like, let's do this. I gave my zigzag stitch quite the workout yesterday, but it was a lot of fun. Getting started was kind of hard in the center because it's a very tight circle. But as I got to the outer areas, it came together a lot easier. And then once the bowl got to be vertical in the sewing machine, because that's how you build it, it was just going. It's almost like a straight stitch because you're basically sewing it to itself. I love the way this came out. I love the colors and the stitches that the zigzag gave. I have thought that maybe I want to do a little bit of an experiment because after the live went off, Stephanie and I were talking, and we were kind of wondering what's the difference between dyeing the rope ahead of time versus dyeing the bolt after it's made, because dye is dye, but we were like, can it get into little nooks and crannies in here and how it works? So at some point in the future, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to make another rope bowl like this, and I'm going to dye it with rope. So I'm doing the dye at the same time. So there's no variables except for, is it made before or after? So they're going to be the same strength of dye. They're going to be the same amount of everything. And then I will make a second rope bowl with the dyed rope. So I will have, front and back, and, it's going to be exactly the same with everything. And we will see if it matters if you dye before or after you make your bowl. I don't know when I'm going to get around to that, but it is definitely on my list of things that I want to do. Probably closer to summer after pollen gets out of here, because I'm probably going to want to do a lot of this outside so I don't get my kitchen all messed up if I end up sneezing in the middle of, dying. I thought I wasn't supposed to be shopping. Yeah, that ain't really keeping me at some of this stuff. Saturday, I went to one of my local shops to pick up the bolt of Shoreline white on cream that I had ordered. Uh, so, yeah, I'm excited that I got this. You can't really see it. It's basically cream with a little white dot. I'm just excited because I love Camille Roskelley, and a lot of her fabrics go with each other. So I'm going to have this to do any of the projects for that until, I run out. I went there specifically to pick up that bolt and to sign up for their porch party, which is in about a month. And Friday, they had posted on their website some gorgeous fabric. And when I saw the fabrics, I was like, I know what to do with it. So here's the fabrics that I bought, just to get a little better view. This gorgeous bright blues. This one's more of a tealy aqua, a really cool dark blue, this gorgeous like running waves it feels. And for the background, look at these sand dollars. I've decided that I'm going to be making Stephanie Stitch's pattern called Calm Waters with that fabric, so I'm very excited. Don't know when I'm going to get a chance to start it, but I will definitely be working on it. That's when I also found out that the folks who work in the shop have to wait 2 weeks before they're allowed to buy any of the fabric. And they were like, I hope that there's still some left when we can buy it because like they love the pattern because I showed them what pattern I'm making, and they love the fabric. They really want to buy some, but they're not allowed to. They didn't have any backing. Well, okay, they had a really cool turtle print that would be perfect for backing, but it's probably like an inch. It's not a 108, so I didn't want to risk not having quite enough for the long arm for the backing. If I was doing it on the domestic, sewing two together would probably have enough for the backing, but I don't want to risk it on long arm. It would be very tight if I didn't have enough. So what I have done is it's sitting in my shopping cart. I found a gorgeous backing that will go with everything with the theme. So that's going to be purchased probably this. The other cool thing is it comes with a bag. It has it's a canvas bag, and it has all the instructions on how to make the bag. And it's basically the same prints that you just saw. And I have to figure out how to make a bag. I'm gonna have to probably read these instructions 7, 8, maybe about 32 times before I figure out exactly what I'm doing and figure out how to get it done. I'm very excited because I haven't made a bag before, and um, I know I've been thinking about the Biani bags, but this is probably a easier version of the bag because it's only a handful of pieces. And in fact, if I unfold it, it looks like there's the panel, there's the two straps, and I'm assuming that's the inner pocket. So there's not a lot of pieces. It should go together fairly quickly, and I'm excited to figure that out. The other thing that came in the mail this week was Fort Worth Fabric Studio is doing a new mystery project called Sunshine on My Mind. And I have a kit. So, very excited about this. It is full of lemon bouquet fabric, and I can't wait to see what the finished project is going to be. The sew along starts on April 15th, and Fort Worth Fabric Studio will release the patterns at 9 a.m. each Monday for 4 weeks. It's going to end up being an extra long table runner. My friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches will be doing a tutorial that releases at 10 a.m. each of those Mondays. So definitely go watch her videos. And then the following Saturday, I will be sewing them up on my channel during my 11sies. So the great thing is you can go watch the tutorials that Stephanie puts out to figure out how to do the blocks and any gotchas and stuff, because I'll be watching those as well. And then you can come join me on Saturday and sew with me, because it's a lot more fun to sew when you have somebody doing the same project. The awesome thing is Fort Worth Fabric Studio gives these patterns for free, but they also offer a kit so that you can do exactly what they have in mind. You could sew from your stash. You could sew from your stash, which is completely awesome. But buying the kit from them is an awesome way to say thank you for their free patterns. I have links in the description below for both the kit and where the patterns will be published, so you can go check them out, give them some love, and be excited for April 15th when the first pattern releases. I'm totally going to play on my long arm this week. I've been focused on the computer geeky stuff this past week because I've needed to get things done. I still have a few things to prep on my sister's machine so that I'm ready when I get up there next summer. Hopefully, they don't have to. Hopefully, I don't have to teach her how to reinstall the new software sooner than that. But we will see how nice Broadcom is playing over the next couple months. Anyway, I have a pair of quilts that I really want to get on the long arm so I can have them done. One of them is still loaded from a week ago, and the other one, everything is just ready to go. So I'm just a little excited. I need to have some stuff to share at Saturday Sampler. The bowl is definitely going to go, but I need to have show and tell of quilts and stuff because those are a lot of fun. I don't think I have seen anybody show and tell a rope bowl at Saturday Sampler yet, so that will be exciting if I'm the first. And there's always trying to figure out what I'm going to work on for 11sies. So hopefully you will see something pop up like Thursday or Friday to know what I will be doing Saturday morning. Anyway, I think that is going to be about it for today. Thank you so much for letting me entertain you for the past however many minutes this video has been. If you wouldn't mind giving the YouTube algorithm all the love, that would be awesome. So you can do that by liking, subscribing, commenting, eating some M&Ms. I hear all of that works. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.